Good evening, everyone. So today's date is 28th of May 2022, and today we are going to discuss about a thread life cycle in Java. So, so as we know that a thread is a smallest unit of a process, right? And whenever we are dealing with a multi-threaded program, a lot of number of threads are created in the program. So let's see a scenario where we are using a particular website, and in that website a number of options or number of tasks are there. So whenever you click on any particular option, a thread is created. So basically thread is created for every single task. So that thread basically is, let's say you are the user and you are on the UI, and you have entered some request. So that from that UI a HTTP request is sent to the server, and that time one thread is called. Then that thread go to the server. Then server accept that thread. Then it will server will ask for the main our main Java JVM to execute a particular method which is associated with the particular thread. So next thread is created in that JVM, and once the execution of that particular method completed, then it returns the thread from the server to the UI, and that is called a thread response or a HTTP response. So this is how basically thread life cycle is what called. So let's check what are the different states of a thread once we start the thread until the ending of a thread. So there are a number of states available, or we can say at least in any one state a thread can be. So the very first thread the first state of a thread is a new state. New state means once you create a thread, it is in a new state, means the code associated with that particular thread is not yet executed, or it is not yet started. So it is in the new state basically. So now the next is a runnable state. Runnable state means once you start the thread or you call a start method from the thread class, when particularly we are talking in Java. So when you start the method or call the start method, then that thread goes into the runnable state. Runnable state means it is able to run. So this is a runnable state. Now the second is a running state. Running state means once that thread got a chance to execute the method or to come on the CPU, that state is in the running mode or running state. Now next is waiting state. Waiting state means any thread whenever it is in waiting mode or waiting, then it is called as a waiting state. So how all these states are given priority. So as we know that there is a thread scheduler before the CPU. Thread scheduler basically do a process of all the threads which are coming to it. So it has a number of operations in the thread scheduler. So as we know that a number of or thousands of threads are at a time comes to the CPU. So CPU decides which thread has to give a chance to run or which thread has to put in a waiting mode. So it is all totally dependent on the thread scheduler, and that priority, as a developer we can choose that priority or we can have that access. So waiting state is what? Once we know that both two or more states can go into one for a particular same task, right? So once one thread is go to complete their task or to enter the particular method, the another thread will wait for it to exit, and then after that the next thread will go to that particular method. Now the next is blocked state. Blocked state means as I have told you, both two threads cannot go into one method or one object at a time. So it will create ambiguity, or it will create an incorrect output. So that is what a block state is. Once one thread is entered into a particular object, then second or other will not allow to go there. So it will block by the thread scheduler for a particular period of time. It is again depend on the sleep time. Sleep time method is there. Whenever you want to put your thread stop or wait for a particular time, there is a sleep method is used. Now join method is what? Join method basically whenever main thread is starting another thread, and when you join that thread, so basically your main thread will stop there till the execution of the next thread is completed. This is what a join method. Now also in the multi-threaded programs, every thread has given some specific period of time to execute or to give a chance to execute. So it is also in a thread scheduler. So every thread has given a particular amount of time to run every time. So number of threads are in running state or number of threads are in runnable state. So sequentially all the states has given some time to execute, and then after they will come into the wait state and another thread will go into the execution. So it depends upon the processor's availability. Let's see, if your processor is free or your processor has an accessible amount of memory, so all the threads has given a same priority or all the threads are executed at a time. But when a processor is is working in its full capacity, there is a priority comes. So priority is also divided into three parts: min priority, max priority, or default priority. So whenever processor has no available more space to execute the whole threads at a time, then the thread which is having most priority it has given a chance to execute first, and then which is about have a min priority, then it will give the chance after. There is a concept called daemon thread also. Daemon thread means a thread whenever a processor is free, at that time only that thread has given a chance to execute. So this is what a daemon thread. And the last state of a thread is basically terminated, means how the thread is killed or how the thread is got terminated. So once a specific task associated with that thread is completed, so that thread we call is as a terminated or killed thread. There may be two possibilities of thread to get killed. If in your program some errors is there, or so and thread do not have, or do not have provide any exception handling there, so at that time thread get killed. And another scenario is any error occur in a system, or server get down, or your electricity get down, at that time also the thread is killed. So these two scenarios are different, and the task which is given to the particular thread is completed, and it will return to the your main user. Then it is also completed, and it is got killed by giving the result or response. So this is about the whole life cycle of a thread. Thank you so much.